The CSGO case market has looked increasingly interesting in the past few weeks, with certain cases coming live increasing up to 30% in just over the past month, supply tanking, and 12-year-old kids spending their Christmas Steam gift cards on case openings. All of these things have created what looks to be a very promising market for quite a few cases. So let's take a look at what's been going on recently and if you should be buying in. And as always, if you do enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And quickly before we get into it, a quick pre-roll from my sponsor, CSGO.
Hey bro, CSGO is a new case opening platform with the best 95% RTP. It is also the first community-driven CSGO platform. You decide which cases will appear tomorrow.
Also, be sure to enter my promo code PRSukaHotFire for a 9% deposit bonus on your first 3 deposits. And yeah, click that link in the description to sign up to CSGO today. But for now, let's get right into the video. So first of all, let's look at the breakout case, which was the main reason why I decided to make this video. It's a case that I've been looking at for a very long time, and recently things have started looking up for it. At the beginning of December and late November, these things were sitting at around the $1.80 range, and now they've climbed to about $2.30. So a 50-cent raise, and it's about 30%. It's a bit less. I think it's like 25 or something, just trying to crunch it in my head. But note that this still isn't anywhere close to the range we've seen them peak to before. They've sat comfortably at the $2.60 to $2.70 range for a while in the past, and they also peaked at over the $3 mark that we saw during the late spring, early summer spike earlier this year. So it's not like we're even in an insane spot for them to be at. And the good news doesn't even stop there. If we go on over to our trusty PriceStalker.eu site, a site that I've talked about in the past that does a really good job of showing supply and demand on the market of cases, we can see that for some reason, after December 2nd, listings have just been absolutely tanking and have fallen from 77,000 to 48,000 in that time. So just about 30,000 of them have gone just wiped off of the Steam market. And obviously, if you have this many cases no longer on the market, demand has got to be a lot higher than supply, which is why we've seen this case shoot up so much in price in just the past month alone. Like, if you zoom out on the Steam chart and look at it from a lifetime point of view, this spike in the past month looks like pretty insane. It's kind of hard to see that if you just look at it from the past 30 days alone. And not to mention, it's not like before where we saw these things go completely parabolic in just a few weeks' time. It's slowly climbing up to this point. So unless we get a ton more listings out of the blue to balance out supply and demand again, they should stay at this point. But next up, let's look at a really similar situation in the glove case. We can see this really similar supply drop off, but this has actually been going on since mid-November in this case. Note that we do see a really heavy drop off once again around that December 2nd, December 3rd date, and I really don't know why this is. Maybe I'll look into this a bit more in the future. It might just be completely random, but the point still stands. Supply is falling off really fast. It looks like things are finally starting to flatten out now, but in the glove case, it was over a 50% drop off in supply on the market since November 15th, which is pretty crazy. And honestly, I'm surprised they haven't risen in price more, but this is definitely more of a long-term thing if you are in on it. Note that the volume amount being bought/sold on the market is around 10,000 a day as well, which is really high for a case around this price. The breakout case is quote-unquote only about 6,000 to 7,000 sold a day in early December, and that of course is going to spike around Christmas time. It spiked to about 10,000, where everybody is doing case openings with those Steam gift cards. Either way, you gotta imagine that if upper thousands and low 10,000s of these things are being sold a day, gotta imagine a lot of them are being unboxed as well, that with these old cases that you can't get anymore and haven't been able to get in years, eventually they're just going to start rising in price more and more, as they've got good rare special items that people have consistently proven they've liked and consistently proven they've bought this case at higher prices as well. So supply is really the only reason they're not just going up, and that's obviously going to lower more and more as time goes on. So a great thing to keep your eye on, as I always say with these cases. I really want to see where they go in the next week, if we're going to see supply on the market start to go higher again, or if we sit flat for a while here. But either way, I think if you're holding onto these cases now, they're just going to be great for the next year, for the next couple, maybe the next couple of months. We'll have to see how they do there, but 6+ months, I can pretty much guarantee these things are going to go up in price, as supply is just going to keep going lower and lower. And the final case that I want to go over is actually going to be the Broken Fang case again. It's something that I've looked at recently because it actually has a recent rally from about 33 cents on the market in late October to sitting in the low 60s now, and the reasoning is really similar. We've seen an even bigger drop off in supply on these cases as well, and the really interesting thing about the Broken Fang cases, since they're from a recent operation, is that you'd think they've probably had all the hype killed because of the release of Riptide. I mean, that would make sense, right? A new operation is gonna have a lot more people unboxing cases than the old ones, right? Well, that's sort of true, but at the same time, not really at all. If we take a look at the old cases unboxed per month chart, over 1.2 million of them were unboxed in November, which blows the vast majority of cases out of the water, except for Riptide cases and some others, but it's not like the new operation just absolutely killed them. And there's been millions unboxed every month since the operation ended as well, so demand is definitely still there. Now, I don't think investing in them just yet is a good idea. I want to see how they play out in the next few months, but you can absolutely take this information for after Operation Riptide ends. Broken cases ended up hitting their very lowest point in price after Riptide got released, and this makes me think that Riptide cases will most likely hit their lowest point when the new operation gets released, and then hopefully you can buy in on Riptide cases at that point and hopefully double your money in what seems like, I believe it was like a month time or a month and a half time, and hope for the same double in price that we saw in Broken Fang cases. And it's not like it was in a really long time, it was just like over a month to 2 months you're doubling your money. That's absolutely insane. But you obviously got to time the market in this case, but hopefully it's just going to be the same thing we saw last time. New operation gets released, buy in on Riptide cases. If they're at that 30-ish cent range, I'm sure it won't be the exact same, but roughly around that point, and hopefully the new operation is going to cause the Riptide case to hit lows. Get in there, hopefully double your money in a few months time because millions are still going to be unboxed. And not to mention, I still think knives in Riptide cases are a lot more desirable than the gloves in Broken Fang cases. Even if they're similar, we should see similar results, but that's way out there in the future, just something to keep in mind. So besides all that, I think that is going to wrap it up for this video. Case investing is looking really spicy right now. Finally, some things are starting to pick up besides that flat period that we saw for just months time, so definitely starting to see things come alive, and if supply keeps falling off this hard, we could even see insane spikes like we did in late spring/summer of this year. So as always, if you guys enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, but for now, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.